In this video, we will discuss about the bones of the face. What are facial bones? Facial bones form the anterior part of the skull, and provide the framework for the face. There are total of 14 facial bones. What are paired and unpaired facial bones? There are 2 unpaired, single facial bones, and 6 paired facial bones. These unpaired bones are Vomer and Mandible. These paired bones are Maxilla, Zygomatic Bones, Nasal Bones, Lacrimal Bones, Palatine Bones, and inferior nasal concha. Now we will discuss the features of each of these facial bones. Number 1. Vomer. It is a midline bone, forming the inferior part of the nasal septum. It articulates with the sphenoid, ethmoid, palatine, and maxillary bones. It separates the nasal cavity into 2 passages. Number 2. Mandible. It is the lower jaw bone. Mandible has following features. Body of mandible. It is the horizontal portion, housing lower teeth. Ramus of mandible. It is the vertical portion, connecting to the skull. Condylar process. It articulates with the temporal bone, to form the temporomandibular joint. Mental foramen. It is the passage for mental nerves and vessels. It provides structure to the lower face, and enables mastication and speech. Number 3. Maxilla. It is central to the facial skeleton, forming the upper jaw. It has following features. Alveolar process. Houses upper teeth. Palatine process. Forms the interior part of the hard palate. Infraorbital foramen. Is the passage for the infraorbital nerve and vessels. It supports upper teeth. Forms the floor of the orbits, and contributes to the structure of the nasal cavity and hard palate. Number 4. Zygomatic bones. It forms the lateral aspect of the face. It has following features. Temporal process. Joins the zygomatic process of the temporal bone, to form the zygomatic arch. It contributes to the orbit, and forms the prominence of the cheek. Number 5. Nasal bones. They form the bridge of the nose. They articulate with frontal bones superiorly, and maxilla laterally. They provide the bony structure for the upper part of the nose. Number 6. Lacrimal bones. They form the medial wall of each orbit. These bones have a lacrimal fossa, that houses the lacrimal sac, which is a part of the tear drainage system. They support the orbital structure, and aids in tear drainage. Number 7. Palatine bones. They form the posterior part of the hard palate. Features. They have following features. Horizontal plate. Forms the posterior portion of the hard palate. Perpendicular plate. Contributes to the lateral walls of the nasal cavity and orbit. They provide structure to the nasal and oral cavities. Number 8. Inferior nasal concha. They form lateral walls of the nasal cavity. These are curved bones, that increase the surface area for air filtration and humidification. They aid in conditioning inhaled air.